Tunisia says it's extending restrictions on the use of tap water as a 5-year drought continues. A quota system brought in 6 months ago will be extended indefinitely, banning the use of tap water for agriculture, washing cars or cleaning streets.
This year's Nobel Prize for Medicine has been awarded to Kotelin Kariko and Drew Weissman. Their work's been critical in developing mRNA vaccines against COVID-19. The Burger King chain has continued to operate in Russia, despite saying it would stop doing business there because of the invasion of Ukraine. It says its franchise agreement is so complicated that it can't leave.
The US House of Representatives is facing days of paralysis after a small group of hardline Republicans forced the Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, from power. He is the first Speaker in US history to be ousted.
President Biden has warned that US aid to Ukraine is under threat due to political turmoil in Washington. He was speaking after the US Congress passed a funding bill to avert a government shutdown, but it did not include money for Ukraine. He described the political atmosphere as poisonous.
The global price of sugar has climbed to its highest level in more than a decade. The Food and Agriculture Organization blamed the increase partly on abnormally dry weather in Thailand and India. This year's Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to the jailed Iranian human rights activist Narges Mohammadi. The committee described her as a freedom fighter. She's currently serving a decade-long sentence for offences including propaganda against the state.
Scientists in Britain say almost half of the world's known flowering plants could face extinction, mainly through habitat loss. One of the researchers said humanity could lose up to half of its future medicines because 90% of medicines are derived from plants.
Japan says Chinese scientists will take part in an upcoming mission to verify the safety of its Fukushima wastewater release, which Beijing has strongly objected to. China banned all Japanese seafood imports after the water started to be discharged into the Pacific Ocean in August. The former head of Britain's Foreign Intelligence Agency has told the BBC that Israel's failure to detect Hamas's plan of attack was a failure of imagination. Alex Younger said there may have been an assumption that Hamas was not interested in a new conflict.
The World Health Organization says an order by Israel to evacuate more than 20 hospitals in northern Gaza is tantamount to a death sentence for some of the sick and injured. It pointed particularly to those on life support and babies in incubators.
5 new sports have been added to the Los Angeles Olympic Games in 2028. Cricket, baseball, softball, lacrosse and squash will feature. Flag football has also been included, a non-contact form of American football. China's President Xi Jinping has opened a forum of 130 countries to celebrate 10 years of the Belt and Road Global Infrastructure Initiative. Among the first leaders to meet Mr. Xi was Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban, but the chief guest is President Putin.
The social media site X, formerly called Twitter, is testing a subscription model that charges just under $1 a year for basic features. Those not paying will be limited to a read-only service. An international team has taken its first samples from waters near the damaged Fukushima nuclear power plant in Japan. The UN nuclear watchdog has said produce from there is safe, despite wastewater from the plant being released, but China and South Korea have questioned this.
One of England's greatest ever footballers, the former Manchester United player Bobby Charlton, has died. He was 86. He was a member of the England team that won the 1966 World Cup.
Denmark's Deputy Prime Minister and Economy Minister Jakob Ellemann-Jensen has resigned from both positions with immediate effect. Mr Ellemann-Jensen, who is 50, also announced that he would leave Danish politics altogether.
South Korea is investigating how a boat carrying 4 North Koreans managed to cross the usually closely monitored maritime border without being stopped. The small wooden vessel was eventually detained about 50 kilometres south of the de facto frontier after it was reported by fishermen. In Iceland, tens of thousands of women, including the Prime Minister, are staging a one-day strike in protest against gender-based violence and inequality. Healthcare, education and air travel are expected to be disrupted.
The United States, South Korea and Japan say they've confirmed North Korea is sending weapons to Russia. A joint statement said the supplies would be used by Moscow in its invasion of Ukraine. Russia and North Korea have previously denied such a deal.
One of the stars of the hit TV sitcom Friends, Matthew Perry, has been found dead at his home in Los Angeles. Perry, who played the part of Chandler Bing, was 54. Warner Brothers, who made Friends, said it was devastated to hear of his death.
The former basketball superstar Magic Johnson has been declared a billionaire by Forbes magazine, making him only the fourth athlete to join the exclusive club. The other athletes are fellow NBA players Michael Jordan and LeBron James and the golfer Tiger Woods.
시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다.